a quick skincare regimen. A quick skincare regimen together. Okay. So, I am going to use alrighty then, there we go. Okay, I already washed my face. I'm just going to wipe it, and then I'm going to use my favorite mask, which I'm about to show it to you guys. So for those of you guys that are new here, I'm on a weight loss journey, and I'm coming on to tell you guys and update you guys on my weight loss and how skinny I'm getting right before your fucking eyes. I am so proud of myself. So proud of myself. So, like I said, I have struggled with my weight. I just made like a 10-minute video talking all about how much I've struggled with my weight, for how many years I've struggled with it. So, I have been struggling with my weight since I was born. Since the day that I knew how to start putting food in my pie hole, I started struggling with my weight. My mom and my dad taught me very disordered eating, and it was because that's how they were raised, you know? So my mom is Mexican and my dad is Italian. My dad came from a household where you were made to sit at the dinner table and finish everything on your plate, and if you didn't, then you were punished. And the way you were punished was you had to sit at the dinner table, and it didn't matter if you fell asleep in your plate. You could not leave the dinner table until you ate everything on your plate. It didn't matter if it was ice cold. It didn't matter at all. Okay? You were going to eat everything on your plate or else. So from a very young age, I was basically trained to clear my plate, you know. This is the ordinary AHA, BHA peeling solution. So, from a very young age, I developed an eating disorder. I developed binge eating first, where I would binge and I would sneak food and I would hide it. And then once I started gaining weight, I developed anorexia, where I would starve myself, okay? And I would eat less than 300 calories a day. True story, okay? And my food addiction and my eating disorders came long before I ever became addicted to drugs or alcohol. Because for those of you guys that don't know, most of you guys know this, I am a recovery channel. I talk about drug addiction recovery here on my channel, and my addiction to food and my food issues came way before I ever even used drugs. But guess why I got hooked on drugs? Because of my weight. Because I was seeking out a way to lose weight and control my weight. And that way was stimulant medication that was prescribed to me at 16 years old. That's how my addiction to drugs started. And so it all goes hand in fucking hand. So now that I am a almost 42-year-old woman, right, I am trying to teach my son healthy eating and not pass down these disordered habits that I have, you know, from my childhood. Lord, it's hard, you guys, because all I have known all my life is starving myself, purging, or binging, right? Well, fast forward to, like I said, I'm almost 42. I finally went to the doctor and got some help and found out that I have diabetes. And so because I got diagnosed with diabetes, my doctor was able to prescribe me Ozempic. And when I tell you guys, best fucking thing that ever happened to me, I just made a whole video on this. I used to think about food 24/7, 7 days a week, all hours of the day and the night. There wasn't a moment that passed by that I wasn't thinking about when I could eat, what I was going to eat, how much I was going to eat, who was going to be there while I ate. Everything. Okay? There wasn't a moment that went by. Since I got on Ozempic at the end of December, I have lost almost 30 whole fucking pounds. Okay? And I feel better than I've ever felt in my whole entire life. And guess what? I don't think about food anymore. Food doesn't consume my every waking thought. So I was thinking about this because I watched this other girl who's also on Ozempic, but she's not a drug addict. And she had said something about how Ozempic shut off the obsession for food in her mind. And she said, just like a drug addict obsesses over getting their next fix, that's what it's like when somebody has food addiction. They are thinking about when their next food item is going to be. Okay? And then we're taught that overeating and being fat is a moral failing, so we're hiding it and being ashamed of it, right? It's great. It's fucking wild, you guys. So that's exactly what food addiction is. It's the exact same as drug addiction, only with a different substance. Food. Food and substances. So, you know, I went from shooting methamphetamine, shooting cocaine, snorting Xanaxes, eating Xanaxes. I mean, I was doing so many drugs, you guys. Heroin, oxys. And then when I got sober, my addiction shifted back over, because it was food before I ever got on drugs. Then my addiction shifted back over to food. And so, oh my gosh, you guys, like I'm telling you, this has been the best. I'm so glad I got diagnosed with diabetes because it opened me up to get the help that I needed. You know what I'm saying? It opened me up to being able to get the help that I need. And now, because every time, I lost 32 pounds before I got on Ozempic. I lost 32 pounds before I got on it. But I was struggling so much because every time I would eat, my blood sugar would spike. I didn't know I had diabetes. I didn't know it. I didn't know I had the beatus, y'all. And so every time I would eat, my blood sugar would spike and I would get even more hungry. And it was just like it was a roller coaster, circle jerk. And so finding out that I have diabetes saved my fucking life, dude. It saved my life, and now I feel better than I've ever felt. A lot of people ask me stuff like, are you having bad side effects? I heard Ozempic could kill you. Bitch, it's saving my fucking life. I'm not having any bad side effects, but I think a reason why I'm not having a bunch of bad side effects, you guys, is because I'm actually changing my life. So I didn't get on Ozempic and just keep eating shit, okay? When I found out that I had diabetes, I changed my life. I knew right then, I'm using the ordinary pill. When I found out that I had diabetes, you guys, I changed my whole life, okay? I literally turned my life around. I took it very seriously. When I found out that I had diabetes, I took it as a death wish, okay? Because that's what it was to me. Because like I told you guys earlier, my grandfather passed away because of complications of diabetes because he didn't change his diet. Because he kept eating out all the time. He kept eating pasta, and he's not alive anymore. And so when I got diagnosed, it scared me. It scared me straight. And now I realize how toxic all the food that I was eating, it really is. All the food that you're buying at the grocery store, all the pizza rolls, all the burritos, all of the processed foods, they're so terrible for you, and they're so not nutritious, and they're poisoning you. They're poisoning you and your families. The best thing you can do if you're watching my video right now and you have found yourself in a position like me and you have gained a ton of weight and you are struggling, the best thing you can do is to dumb your fucking diet down to literal whole foods, whole meats, vegetables, okay? Meats, vegetables, water. Meats, vegetables, water. When I want to have something sweet now, I have some apples with a little bit of peanut butter on it. Okay, and that, like I said, is changing my life. I used to be the kind of mom that I would grab a Hot Pocket and throw it in the microwave to heat it up, and that would be my snack. Not anymore. Not anymore. Now my snacks consist of real food. Man, I'm just telling you guys, like, I wish that I didn't know better. I didn't know better, and I wish I knew better. You know, I wish I had been taught better about foods when I was younger. When I was a kid, they used to teach us that carbohydrates were a main food group. Okay? Like, seriously. And so there's healthy carbs that you can eat, but I don't fuck with those motherfuckers. I don't fuck with a bunch of bread anymore. I don't fuck with a bunch of chips. I don't fuck with a bunch of crackers. I don't fuck with a bunch of pastas. I don't fuck with a bunch of potatoes. Like, I'm telling you guys, and it has drastically changed my life. Drastically. Drastically. But my addiction to drugs, like I said, it started out with a food addiction and disordered eating. Then it shifted to drug addiction because drugs gave me the weight loss that I was craving. Drugs helped me maintain a very super skinny stature. And I'm not like a super skinny chick. Like my weight, like my regular normal weight, I'm about 5'5", is 160 pounds. And I look good and I look healthy and I'm fit, you know. At this time in my life, I was trying to chase this unrealistic 130 pounds, you know. And I was very like sucked in and very just like not healthy. And so I'll be 42 on Friday. I'll be 42. And like I told my husband, I said, this year I'm going to be healthier than I've ever been in my whole entire life at 42 years old. I am going to be healthier. I am going to feel better than I have ever felt. And it has all started with going to the doctor and getting help. Okay? If I had never found out that I had diabetes, I would have still been chasing my tail and still been wondering why can't I lose this weight? Like I said, I lost 32 pounds on my own before I ever even got diagnosed with diabetes. But it was like very slow, and it was like I would lose 10 pounds and then 2 pounds would come back, and then I would lose 7 pounds. It was just like really, really fucked up. And like I said, every time I would eat, it was like I could never fill my stomach enough. And when I would eat, I would get so thirsty and so snacky. And it was because every time I would eat, my blood sugar would go pew, and then it would just stay there. It was so hard, you guys. It was so hard, and I was struggling so much. And I thought I was a failure. I thought that I was going to die like that. I thought that it was very depressing. Very depressing. And when I tell you, man, all I had to do was go to the doctor and get my blood taken and find out what was going on. But I kept putting it off because I was afraid. I was afraid I was going to be diabetic, which I was. I was afraid I was going to have high blood pressure, which I did. I was afraid my cholesterol was going to be through the roof, which it was. I was afraid my vitamin D would be non-existent, which it was. And I kept putting it off. But like I said, the best thing I ever did was go and get diagnosed and get diagnosed with diabetes, so then I could get the help that I needed and get it treated. And now, like I said, now I'm passionate about eating healthy. Now I'm passionate about taking my walks every day. Now I'm passionate about wanting to eat better and choose better choices for my family. I'm passionate about wanting to make better food choices for my son. Whole food choices, good food that he can eat, that's going to fuel his body and not harm him. Because what I was doing before was giving my son shitty food choices that are going to set him up for failure in the future. You know? And I'm not judging you. If you like to give your kids, you know, donuts and Zuzus and Wham Whams, that's on you, okay? I just know how much I struggled with my weight and my self-confidence, and my little boy is a lot like me. And so I am teaching my son now to make good food choices, choices in food where he chooses to have steak over a Hot Pocket, where he chooses to have yogurt instead of ice cream with chocolate sprinkles, you know? I want him to be able to make good food choices and have the results of having good food choices, you know? And so, man, I'm telling you guys, the best thing I ever did, like I said, was go and find out I was diabetic, because it forced me to take a good hard look at what I was piling into my fucking face, okay? And you're correct, fast food is poison as well. It's all disgusting, and it's all purposeful. It's all disgusting and poison for a reason. And they want you to be fat and sick and slow. That's how they want us all to be. So that way we're fat, sick, and slow, dumb, and blind. You know? But anyway, I could rant about this forever, because it's just like such an eye-opening experience for me to see how much damage I did to my body in 9 years. Okay? Because before I got sober, I was skinny as fuck. Okay? I was skinny. When I got sober is when my binge eating came back with a vengeance. And for the last 9 years, because I'll have 9 years in July, I was killing myself with food. Instead of killing myself with drugs like I was doing for the 20 years before that, I started killing myself with food. Food, dude. And food was taking me down through there quicker than drugs were. Okay? Let that fucking sink in. Okay? Let that sink in. Food was killing me faster than drugs were. That's crazy, bro. Okay? Food was killing me faster than crack, than coke, than meth, than fent. Okay? So, if you're like me and you have struggled with food addiction or drug addiction, and you found yourself in a situation now where you're addicted to food and you're overeating, you're not alone. You're not alone. It happens to the best of us. But getting help for it will be the best thing you ever did. And it's not going to be easy. It's not just, you don't just go to the doctor and they say, oh, here's this shot, and the shot cures you. Like, you have to change everything. Or else you're going to take that medication and it's going to make you really fucking sick. Okay? I have so many friends who have tried to use Ozempic, Mounjaro, Zepbound, Wegovy, and they have gotten on these shots thinking that the shot is going to cure them. And they have not changed anything about their eating habits. They have continued piling in fast food, carbohydrates, drinking Coke all the time, sugary Kool-Aids and juices. And guess what? They had the worst side effects. They were deathly ill, okay? And it did not work for them, okay? So if you do get on a medication like a GLP-1 medication, you have to be ready to put in all the work, okay? You got to be ready to make the real changes in your life, okay? Because it's not going to just shut you off from being able to eat. It's not just going to change your life overnight. You have to really, really work at it. And, you know, I get so many comments from people that say things like, oh, you're just taking the easy way out. Bitch, I got diabetes. What do you want me to fucking do? You know what I mean? I ate myself into getting diabetes. So I have to take medication to manage it until I can get rid of it. I'm working on getting rid of it. People say the same thing to me about my opiate addiction because I take Suboxone for opiate addiction. If y'all haven't noticed yet, I am the queen of utilizing tools. Okay, if I can find a tool that's going to help me in my journey, then that's what I'm going to do. I am going to use that tool to the best of my ability. And I have found tools that have helped me in my journey for both food addiction, Ozempic, and drug addiction, Suboxone. And so, y'all thought y'all was sick of me talking about Suboxone. Wait till I start making more content about Ozempic. Because I am so grateful and so happy with the results that I have been having. Like I said, this has not happened overnight. I started making changes 35 days before I ever started taking Ozempic. I started making changes in my food and what I was putting in my mouth. And I changed because I found out I had diabetes. And getting diagnosed with diabetes was the best thing that ever happened to me. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope it helps you. And if you're struggling, you're not alone. Do what is best for you. Don't listen to what other people have to say because people always have an opinion. Okay? You know, they always have an opinion. They always got something to say. And most of the people that have something to say, they haven't even been in the position that you're in. You know what I mean? So don't even sweat those people. But I love you guys, and I'll see y'all later.